little Sunday skincare series about esthetician stuff and skincare, things like that. I'm thinking about calling it Your Bestie, the Estie. Let me know down below if you like that title. I kind of like it. I might keep it. I might just leave it. Okay, but for my first video, I'm in some scrubs. Coaching University of Beauty Culture. This is where I went to school. And if you hear this chair squeaking, excuse me. But I figure in these videos that I'm gonna be wearing scrubs, you know, my esthetician uniform. The spa that I go to, they wear scrubs, or a version of scrubs. I went to school and wore scrubs. So this way you can kind of make a distinction about what videos these are, esthetician videos. So for this first video, I kind of wanted to do a video that before I started esthetician school and at the beginning of esthetician school, a video that I tried to search for a lot was the Illinois State Board's test and how people studied for it. Now this is for Illinois. I went to school in Illinois. I took the state board test for an Illinois license. So it might be different in a different state. It could be different a year from now, 6 months from now. So this is, what day is today? It is August 27th, 2020, and I took my test August 6th, 2020. So if you're watching this end of 2020, beginning of 2021, any years beyond this, it might be a little bit different, but this is how I studied for the state board test and passed. Let me just show you proof that I passed. Let me get this out and cover this is the Continental Testing Services. This is the score report. So, here's me. And here, cover it. There we go. So you can see me. But my score was a 91, and he only had to pass with a 75. Now again, this could be different for your state. This could be different in Illinois 6 months from now, but again, this is just how I studied. So the testing company that I went through, they have a thing called, let me get the paper out, Candidate Information Bulletin. So this is what I printed off. Again, this is for 2020. I'm not saying that if you follow these tips, you're going to pass the test. This is just how I studied for it, how I got ready for the state board's test. But the National Aesthetics Theory Examination, apparently I can't speak today, they came out with a bulletin. So it has, basically it breaks down what's going to be on your test. So it says here, Aesthetics Theory Examination Content Outline. So scientific concept, 55%. And then it breaks it down for you. So microbiology, you have to know bacteria, viruses, parasites and fungi, infection control, levels of infection control, so cleaning and sanitation, the difference between cleaning and sanitation, disinfection, and sterilization. Methods of infection control, so heat, chemical agents, safety procedures and guidelines, human physiology and anatomy, histology and physiology of the skin related to structure and function of the layers of skin, structure and function of the gland, structure of the hair follicle, things like that. And then you will see down here, it says skincare services, 45%, and so this is like the skin analysis, steaming procedures, chemical versus physical exfoliation versus gommage, like masks, like a clay mud masks, a gel, rubberized cream, when you use all those. when I studied, I just paid attention to the scientific concepts. So these here, all these here, that's how I studied. Now with the textbook that I use, we use Salon Fundamentals. That's the brand we use. We did not use Milady at my school, we used this. So this is our study guide. Then our textbooks is on an iPad. But this was like the holy grail, the thing that I needed while studying. Now you could theoretically just go through this, find it in here and just read it, so yeah, that way. But for me, let me open up to a page here. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of writing. And even though it's broken up into different sections, you can see, it's too busy for me to be able to study. I like things a little bit more structured or spaced out, easy to read. That's too much. Like, that's a lot of writing. Small writings. So if your school uses Salon Fundamentals, definitely utilize this study guide workbook. Definitely utilize it. When you're going through the chapters, fill it out. Fill out the matching sections. Fill out the challenge questions. Fill them out. You know, multiple choice questions. Do them. This is an easy way to study, and then when you go to do the state boards, you have all the information written down right here. All of it. But again, me personally, this was a little bit too much stuff just in one spot. So I went through, I went to Dollar Tree and got myself just a, composition notebook. Something to write it all down in. So I went through this list. Okay. And I wrote the things down, checked them off when I wrote them down. Okay. So, first it starts with microbiology. Okay. I wrote down microbiology, a basic definition. Basic definition. And what's nice about having this is you can take the stuff you've written down in your own words already and put them on here. You have all the answers written here already. Now I didn't use Milady, so I don't know how, if they have a study guide or a workbook like this. Do not know. If they do, utilize it. Write everything down. Fill this out. Fill it out. I know some people in my class, I know sometimes they just wrote bare minimum just so they could get it done. Or they knew that my teacher didn't check it. She just went through to make sure you finished it. Just do it the best that you can, okay? Just do it. Then you can see here, under microbiology, I have bacteria. So, I have bacteria. I have, let's hold it like this. I have pathogenic versus non-pathogenic. What that means. I have what cocci means. So I have staphylococci, streptococci, diplococci, bacilli, and spirilla. And then I color coded these. So these green ones are going to be the round ones. Okay. I put basically what they do. So abscesses, pustules for boils for a staph. Pus forming, blood poisoning, strep throat, rheumatic fever, that's for strep. Diplococci, that's pneumonia, but I also put down little tricks and tips for me. So D equals double, diplococci, D equals double. I also thought diplococci. So if D equals double, you have 2 lungs, pneumonia. Bacilli. I drew a little picture over here. Little thing to help me out. B equals bar. Bacilli, they're rod-shaped, bar-shaped. And then spirilla, they're in spirals. S for spiral. Syphilis, cholera, things of that nature. You get the point, you get the point. So basically I just went through and did that for all the different subsections in here. And you see over here, well, I should say chapter 8, I think. I think it's supposed to say chapter 8. But for the skin disorders and diseases, all these different ones over here, I did not write all those down in this guy. That would have been way too much. But as you can see, I also like color to be able to draw me 2 words. So microbiology, boom. Bacteria is this section. I like color. So I did that. I've got viruses here. I've got my infection control. Things that I thought would be important when taking the test. So I have the sanitation, disinfection, and sterilization. I also have things about, it talked about in here, I think it said chemical. So I've got chemical disinfectants do not eliminate bacterial spores. I've got the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, what they do. Then I've got the autoclave, that's heat, steam, chemiclave, uses chemicals. I have the safety procedures and guidelines for blood spill. I wrote all of that down, the steps. Cells. You need to know your cells, or what makes up a cell, how it builds up. So anabolism, cannibalism, mitosis, tissues. See, some pages I don't have that much written. So this is how I studied for the test. I'm not going to tell you what was on the test. I'm just going off of the bulletin that they give you and how I condensed it down. So this is how and so that all these pages, that's all I had to study. So I broke this humongous thing into, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pages, and just the front page of these. Now for these, I just wrote down what pages they were on in my study guide. So these were all the disorders. So disorders of the sebaceous gland, disorders of the sudoriferous gland, contagious diseases, all those things. And that was, let me just pull up in my book here. So this is, again, where I'm going to tell you a lot of writing. And these are all notes that I did already. So there was no need to go back through every single chapter, read it all in my textbook. I had already written down. what worked for me. As I showed you, the minimum passing score was a 75, and I got a 91. So, I'm hoping that helps somebody. Anybody that is taking, maybe at my school, my old school, anybody in the state of Illinois going scared to take their state boards test. This will kind of help ease your anxiety on how to study. I know when I first started to get into studying, I was so nervous. Let me show you this last page. It's nice because this also has sample questions at the bottom. But it also gives you where they got the information to formulate these questions. So primary references, down here, last page. It says Milady's Standard Aesthetics Fundamentals, the 2013 11th edition. Okay. Salon Fundamentals Aesthetics, a resource for your skincare career. Here, that was my book. And then NIC, Infection Control and Safety Standards. And then there's supporting references, so a couple of other books, but those are Salon Fundamentals, and Milady. So I had the study guide for the Milady's textbooks. I had the whole big book. Then I had my textbook. Then I had this. Then I had all my study guides from every chapter from this. And I thought, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. How am I gonna learn all of this information? Or not learn it, memorize it, or have it all in my brain for this test, right? You already learn it, but sometimes under testing pressure, it's a little like scary. Taking this, breaking it down, putting it into 14 pages, plus a couple pages in here that list all the diseases and stuff. It made it a lot easier to study. I didn't feel so overwhelmed, and I was actually pretty excited for the test. Like, I knew I was gonna do good, and I did, So I hope this helps you. Next, your Bestie the Estie video is gonna be not next Sunday, but the Sunday after, and it's going to be my skincare routine, how I take care of my skin. But if you have video suggestions that you want me to do, leave them down below, please. Please subscribe to this channel. Like this video if this helped you at all figure out how to study for your state boards. I'm thinking the company that created this test, I don't know, like this information, if this helps you, but the company that created this test, I'm thinking other states utilize this. Don't quote me on it. When I was going through the website to find this candidate bulletin, it mentioned different states. How did I find this? Basically, when I signed up for the test, I was approved to take the test, they sent me an email, and then it sent a link to their channel, and it said something about the candidate bulletin. I'm pretty sure it was just easy to find on that website. I either searched it or it was just in one of the side toolbars. But yeah, I hope this helped. How do I end this video? If you're in another state and you have something to add, or this is similar to yours, or it's completely different and you want to help another esthetician out, please leave it down below. Say your state, say how you studied. I know for my state, I did the practical exam at my school, so I didn't have to do that in front of a person for state boards. I just had to take this pen and paper exam. But I'm excited for for this series. I'm wanting this to be my aesthetic outlet, my skincare outlet, something that I can infuse my passion into. I want to eventually, hopefully in the near future, we'll see, start an online consultation business where you can Zoom call me or Skype me or FaceTime me. We can talk about your skin. I can recommend products to help you feel the best you can in your skin. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. Why not treat it right? So until next time, I will see you guys later. Have a great day. See you later.